Okay, when do you say yes? When do you say no? And how do you figure out how to do that? As small business owners, we sometimes are so anxious for a sale or so anxious to provide great customer service that we say yes to a lot of things that don't feel good. So we're going to talk about that today. Welcome to Monday Morning Crochet Business Chat. This is the best place on the internet to find crochet business tips for both makers and sellers. And my name is Pam Grice, the Crochetpreneur, and I am on a mission to help 100,000 women find personal and financial freedom through crochet. And hey, welcome if you're one of those people. Um, let's talk about saying no. Um, First, before we get going, be sure to subscribe, click like on this video, click the notification bell so that you get notifications when I go live. I had found that I was sending out reminder emails in the morning. It was just taking too much time. So I said no to that. So I'm just going to be posting on Monday mornings, and I hope that you get the notification and you join us. So be sure to click that bell, okay? Um, I am going to hide that. And I'm going to go over the comments, see who's here. Say good morning if you're here. Let us know you're here. Let us know, are you a maker? Are you a designer? And let us know if you've ever run into the problem of really wanting to say no and sometimes recognizing that you need to say no, but not knowing how to word it, what to say, and even feeling guilt for saying no. We're going to talk about all of that stuff this morning. Good morning, Yelena, Maria, Sonia, Christina, Kim, Faith, Miss Katie's here. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Susan. Hey, guys. Thank you for being here. Let's talk about this a little bit. Alberta, brr. It's not quite cold here today. It's a 47 Fahrenheit out today. In Colorado, it's bright and sunny, so that means no jackets required, which is always nice. Holly's a maker. Hi there. Okay, so let's talk about this. When should Etsy sellers say no? There are some cut and dry situations where you just need to say no, and you might not know how to say it. So let's talk about those. Sorry if you can hear my dog moving around. Let's talk about those and maybe some things that are not quite so cut and dry. So let's go to this first one. Um, okay, if you get a request from somebody on Etsy on Etsy that goes against the Etsy's terms of service, politely say no and move on. Just say, like I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that. So some of the things that go against Etsy's terms of service specifically are the customer wanting to take the transaction off of Etsy and say like, hey, can I pay you through Cash App or Venmo, or do you have a website that I can go to and purchase from that website instead of Etsy? Doing those things are against Etsy's terms of service. And if they find out that you've done it, you could get your shop shut down. So politely say no. And also really important is to, my dog, is to be aware of what Etsy's terms of service are. And you can find out all of those things, the rules for sellers, in the Etsy Seller Handbook. Just go to Google, type in Etsy Seller Handbook. I'll link it down in the description below as well after we get done here. And know what the terms of service are so you don't inadvertently break those. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one is when the request is bad for your bottom line, you can say no. And you don't have to feel guilty about it. You don't have to feel bad about it. Just a simple no, that's not going to be possible. Just the other day, someone sent me a message and said, I want to buy 2 hats. Can I have a discount? And as a rule, I don't offer discounts for a purchase of 2 products. So I simply sent back a message and said, I'm so excited that you're interested in my hats. At this time, I only offer discounts for wholesale orders of $250 or more. So I'm not able to offer you a discount, but I'm excited to make your hats or something like that. Like I'm really looking forward to making hats for you, something like that. And then she ended up placing her order at full price. So you don't have to say yes to everything if it's going to affect your bottom line. So often people ask for discounts, and basically they're asking for you to give up something of value for them to not give up something of value, right? So they're saying, I would like you to sacrifice $10 so that I don't have to sacrifice $10. And then I get to have the product. And what do you get? You get a sale with $10 less profit. So if you start looking at it like that, of like, I'm not willing to make a sacrifice, so I'm asking you to make a sacrifice. That's easy to say no to when you recognize exactly what's being asked of you. I really learned this in my psychotherapy practice, where for some reason everybody asks for a discount. Like, the value you get from psychotherapy is life-changing, but they're like, please can I have a discount, because it's not worth it to me to pay $100 an hour, so you should make a sacrifice instead for my own healing. And then, so when I first started, I was giving discounts because I felt bad and people need help and whatever. And then they would come in with brand new iPhones and come back from vacations and have new shoes and all the things that I didn't have because I was making a sacrifice for them. So I found that it created discontent on my part. And so I just came up with the rule that there's no discounts. If you value something, you'll find a way to pay for it. So same thing with your physical products and your patterns. If people value it, they will pay for it. And if not, they can go purchase from someone else. That's what I say. Next one. When the request doesn't feel good to you. So this goes back to what I always say, is always listen to your gut. If a customer is sending you a request on Etsy and for some reason it just doesn't feel right, you can go ahead and say no. Like, you don't have to feel bad about that. Just say no. Like, I'm not going to do that. Be kind about it, but say, that's not possible at this time. Sorry. Typically this happens for me with customers that you can see are going to be a pain in your backside. The customers that ask 10,000 questions before making a purchase, or say, can you tweak this? Can you tweak that? When you're like, this doesn't feel good, I feel like no matter what I do, you're not going to be happy. You're probably right. So just tell the client, it doesn't seem like it's a good fit. Someone else will probably be able to serve you better, and let them go. All right. This one should be obvious. However, in our community, this is not so obvious. When a request is illegal, if someone is asking you to make them trademarked items in return for money, this is illegal. And just say no. I know that it feels good for someone to ask you to make something, and it feels good for someone to say they're willing to pay you money for something. But in reality, as I'm a trademark holder, and I know when people infringe on my trademark, it's really annoying. And just because it makes them feel good that they get to make money off of my brand, that doesn't mean that it's right. Oh, I'm sorry. Someday I'm not going to have flies in here. Someday I'm going to have an office. Anyway, check in with your own value system and say, is it worth it to me to do something illegal in return for money? I would hope, if you're here and you're watching this, that the answer to that is no. I'm really strict about this. I really have strong opinions on this. I don't want someone infringing on my trademark, and therefore I don't infringe on other people's trademarks. And I don't want my students to do that as well. So I'm just saying, if somebody wants a Superman blanket, that doesn't mean that you get to be the one to make it. The people who own that trademark make their own Superman blankets. Point your customers to them. All right. And then again, this kind of piggybacks off that, but when a request goes against your own ethical standards, so it may not be illegal, but it might still not feel good. For example, when someone finds a pattern online and they say, I really like this, and instead of going, they find a product online, and instead of going to the person who's selling that product, they take the photo and they bring it to you and say, hey, can you make this for me? I feel like the right thing to do is like, why don't you go buy it from the person who designed it, the person who took that photo, the person who listed it for sale? They already know how to make it. So already they can make it probably more quickly for you. They can make it as it's supposed to be made for you. I don't have to learn a brand new pattern just to make something for you. I really suggest pointing people back towards the original designer or the original product maker when someone wants something that's for sale online. There's no need for them to come to you. I know sometimes it feels good to be like, I could make money from this, but typically when you receive a request like that, it's actually going to cost you money because you have to go out, get the pattern, you have to learn how to make it, take the time to make it. And so then you have to charge more than the original seller would need to charge in order to make a profit. So send them back to the original person. I think you would want someone to do that if it was your photo as well. When the customer is clearly not your people. So when you get a request from someone, again, like I said earlier, someone who is so needy or someone who is so picky that you're like, you are not the person I want to work with. I have some pretty strict boundaries about who I want to work with and who I don't want to work with. And when someone reveals to me that they're the person I don't want to work with, I don't work with them because they're going to make your life miserable. The money is not worth the stress of working with them. And so just say no. Which leads to this one, when you just don't want to. So there are times when it just doesn't fit in with your plans for your business right now. When a neighbor comes to you and says, hey, can you make this blanket for me? I need it by Christmas. And you're like, I have a lot going on right now. Like, I just don't have capacity for that. So I would love to make this for you after my busy season, but I can't make it for you right now. So say it kindly again. But just say no. So those are some of the times when I think it's really important as a seller to say, no, this is not something I can do right now. And sorry, I can hear talking outside. I wonder what's going on. I got some bad news about my house like 2 minutes before I went online. So I'm a little bit distracted. Anyway, so those are some reasons why you might want to say no. So then let's go here. How to say no with confidence. No guilt, no shame, no excuses. So often, and I know this happens a lot with crochet sellers. I think a lot of makers struggle with confidence or struggle with codependence, even people pleasing, and they feel guilty when they say no or when they set boundaries for themselves. So I want to tell you, you're the CEO. It's your business. Like, sit up straight, have confidence, and you don't have to feel guilty for saying no. You don't have to feel shame for saying no, and you don't ever have to give excuses. So a simple "that's not possible at this time" is so much more effective than saying, I'm not able to do that because. As soon as you add a because, you are, I have this down as, I'll put it here. As soon as you say because of something, you're inviting pushback from the customer because your because or your reason for not being able to do that doesn't matter to the customer. And they're going to tell you why it doesn't matter. So, for example, I'm sorry I'm not able to do that because because this is a trademark issue and I don't do trademark items. Well, that's a big company. They're not going to be hurt by this. So they fight back, right? They come back with a reason why your reason is not good enough. So I don't ever want to give excuses. If the no is a no, I just say, here, Mo. I gotta let my dog out in a second. Simply say thank you and then say no. So thank you for taking the time to reach out. Thank you for thinking of me for this opportunity. Thank you so much for checking in, but that's not going to be possible at this time. I'm not going to be able to do that. Simple. Thank you, no, and let them go. Again, where appropriate, you can educate the customer. Mo, You can educate the customer and say, you can say like, there are trademark issues. This is illegal. I'm sorry, this does not fit with the needs of my business right now, or the values of my business right now. So you can educate the customer, and but I wouldn't offer an excuse as to why you can't do something, because again, they're going to push back. So those are my tips for when to say no and how to say it. And you guys, I'm going to leave you here to chat amongst yourselves for just a second while I let the dog out. What do you think about that? I will be right back. Yeah, so there's people talking outside, and so he wanted to be in on it. Okay, I'm going to come back and check in with your comments. Buy from the original designer. Yes. I learned not to work with super picky people, right? They just make your life miserable. I need to say no. I'm too busy right now. Yes, Sonia, if you're busy, just say no. It's like, I was just talking to my husband about this morning of, there are people bringing you opportunities. And if you feel stressed in a negative way, sometimes stress comes from excitement. If you feel excited about an opportunity, that's one thing. But if something feels stressful, like, oh, I don't want to do that, but man, they're offering to pay me whatever. That feeling of is not good. Like, you want to enjoy your business. You don't want to feel about your business. So feel free to say no. Own your yes and own your no. That's right. I get people asking me to make Ami and I point them to other makers. Exactly. Like, if something doesn't fit in with your business model, if someone asks me to make Ami, I'm like, that's going to take me forever because that's not my niche. I don't work in that area. And if people ask me to make blankets or something big, like, I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy taking on projects that take days to finish. So I say no and I point them to somebody else. I get people asking me to make, thanks for the good examples of how to word things. Yeah, practice so you don't flub up and end up saying yes and meaning no. Yeah. I really suggest having some scripts. And for CBA people, I will put some scripts in our module with scripts in it, so you can just, grab those. And I'm sorry that won't work for me right now. Yep. The discount thing. Yeah. Anytime someone's asking you for a discount, they're saying like, I value me more than I value you. And I prefer working with people who we both have the same value. Like, everything we do together is a win-win. There's value for me and there's value for you. But when someone's asking for a discount, they're saying, I want value for me, but I don't want value for you. So it's not fair. If it's not a heck yes, it's a heck no, Katie said. It's hard to say no. I just got a request to make 2 Ami for a friend, and I'm on the fence. I'm not sure I can fit it in between prepping for my holiday blog posts and patterns. So I always ask, Chanel, I think you already answered your own question. Okay. But if something's going to be taking you away from the goals that you have for your business in order to do them a favor, then it's a no. Because you have to laser focus on the goals you have for your business, and doing favors for people comes after that. You're a business owner, right? No, I won't. Maria says she's had to say no a lot. I won't infringe on trademark. I won't make that large blanket for less than the cost of yarn. I won't design something new that I will only appeal to you. Exactly. I always point those wanting Ami to my cousin. Yeah. What is Ami? Amigurumi is a crochet art that involves making like stuffed animals, cute little stuffed animals or stuffed figures, those kinds of things. So, all right, you guys. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the drama about my house because I need to share this before we go. So if you guys remember, the last 2 weeks, we've been dealing with trust issues with our great room because they made our ceilings 12 feet tall instead of 14 feet tall. And we have a 12-foot tall Christmas tree that is the center of our lives for 2 months out of the year. And so they had to go back and remake the trusses, and it took 2 weeks off how long the house was going to take. So right before I came on this video, Kevin came in and with blueprints in his hand, which is always a bad thing. And he said they made the wrong trusses for our back porch. Our back porch is supposed to be vaulted, and they made a big flat ceiling on my big giant back porch. And so now it's going to push it back another 2 months, and our house is not going to be ready or 2 weeks. Our house is not going to be ready till March. And so here I am sitting in my camper. I just can't take it. I'm like going to cry. Anyway, so this is going to be a shorter video than normal because I need to go talk to the framers and talk to my contractors and find out when they're going to get brand new trusses for my back porch. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you for listening to my little rant. I just want a house. I just want my office is all I want. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. If you have any questions about saying no, ask them in the comments below. And I did post a little thing with some scripts on my Instagram and my Facebook page today. So go check those out. Be sure to save them so that you can come back to them whenever you need them as well. So those were just some quick little ideas for you to save as scripts for when you need to say no. All right. Remember to own your worth, own your awesome, say yes when you want to, say yes when it's life-giving, and say no when it's not. Okay, so I will be back next week with another Monday Morning Crochet Business Chat. Thanks for coming. See you guys later.